Hey guys, Brady here, and I just saw Why Him. Now this movie stars James Franco, um, Bryan Cranston, Zoe. I'm just gonna call her Zoe Thompson. Her mother is Leah Thompson. From Back to the Future and Jaws 3 and Howard the Duck. She doesn't really have much on her filmography. She went from shit, good, shit. I don't know. Um, Jaws 3 is probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Howard the Duck, I think, is better than Jaws 3, but that's not really saying much. Anyway, so Why Him is pretty much, you've seen this plot before. It's the fiance trying to impress his father-in-law, and his father-in-law is like pretty much the premise of Meet the Parents, except it's R-rated. And I was willing to give this movie credit for not having juvenile humor like Meet the Parents did, but they saved it for us at the fucking end. I'll get into that later. Anyway, so juvenile humor, meaning poop jokes, fart jokes, vomit jokes, and I was gonna be like, yes, this movie is not gonna go down the route that Meet the Parents did. When in the beginning, where in the beginning of Meet the Parents, where he's going on the where he's at the airport and he's like waiting in line to get his bags checked, and the baby like pukes on Ben Stiller. Like he's like standing behind that lady who's burping at the baby, and the baby just like pukes all over his shirt. Yeah, we got something similar to that in this movie, and like I said, I'll get into that in a bit. Anyway, so James Franco is trying so hard to impress Bryan Cranston. He really wants to marry Zoe, whatever fuck her last name. I can't pronounce it. I'm not sure if it's Deutsch, Dutch. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just awful with pronunciation with certain last names. Yeah, she and he's basically like he's pretty much like this video game designer. Like he like designs his own video games, and him and her invite her family over for Christmas, and he's trying to win Bryan Cranston's heart, and he keeps fucking up on like Ben Stiller did in Meet the Parents, and all three of them actually. Doubt we're gonna get a trilogy for this movie, but this movie will have you laughing a lot. This movie had tons of laughs. Like, it's not like a joke a minute, like let's say like Ted or The Interview or what was the other one? This is the end. It's not like funny consistently. There are a lot of funny scenes, but it's not like consistently funny. And this has all the jokes are very predictable at times, but I'm not gonna let that compromise the story. Or I laughed, even though the jokes were predictable. A lot of them made me laugh a lot. They take it in a different direction. Some of the jokes, but they anyway. So yeah, this movie, James Franco, he's always good. Like whenever he's in like a comedic movie, he's always been good. Like I haven't watched a comedic movie with James Franco since like the first time I ever saw like a comedic movie with James Franco. I think it was like in 2013. Like I didn't really know he was much of a comedic actor, so I didn't understand the backlash back in 2011 when he got the role as a scientist in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I was like, oh, he's the Green Goblin from he's Harry Osborn from the Spider-Man movies. He could do a serious role. But then years later, like 3 years later, I finally got to see Pineapple Express. This is the End, The Interview. I was like, oh yeah, I could see why people would think he's not right for a scientist. But anyway, that's besides the point. James Franco is hilarious in this movie. He has like no filter, and he thinks he's trying to do good. He thinks he's doing good, but he's actually fucking things up more. And he wants Oh wait, I don't want to spoil that. Um, but yeah, this movie is just very formulaic, but it's funny. You will laugh a lot. It's from the producers. Oh, the producer of this movie is Sean Levy. You know him. He's the director of Cheaper by the Dozen. The first one, the one with Steve Martin. Uh, this One of the fucking movies called Night at the Museum trilogy, and I think he had something to do with the Fantastic Four movies. I think he was like writer or producer or of the Fantastic Four movies, but he also directed. He also directed this, which is produced by Steven Spielberg. So yeah. Spielberg had a big year in 2011. Anyway, so yeah, Sean Levy directed this, and Sean Levy produced it, and John Hamburg directed this, and I'm trying to remember I'm not sure if he was the writer or director of That's My Boy, but anyway, on to what I was gonna say. There is this scene in the movie. It's like, all right, this movie is funny, and they do have like all these like very simple, type jokes you'd see in an ordinary art movie. For instance, now I'm gonna spoil a few jokes in this movie. Okay, so spoiler alert. So if you don't wanna hear any spoilers, or if you don't want me to hear any spoilers of the jokes, I suggest you just skip to the end of the video where I give my rating. Anyway, so now that I gave that disclaimer, let's get in. So James Franco has this like dead stuffed moose, and it's like floating in its own urine. He has it in his house. It's in like this glass case, and the glass case explodes when James Franco's standing on it. He like falls through it, and he's like swimming around in like moose pee, and then the whole entire thing explodes and it shatters all over the little brother in the movie. Not James Franco's little brother, character. No, I know Dave Franco. No, not Dave Franco, but Bryan Cranston's son, I should say. His name, forgot his name. I forgot the character's name is in this movie. And the moose carcass just like falls right on top of him, and you know where this is going. This has animal dick resting on human's face joke number 27. Actually, no, I haven't seen that in too many movies. I've only seen that maybe 5-10 movies. Some people may consider it's a cliche. It's not a cliche to me yet. But yeah, it has been done in a lot of movies that I've seen. So yeah, we do see moose testicles in this movie resting on a kid's face. But that's not the juvenile humor I was talking about. Considering how this is Fox, they had to have poop jokes in this movie. We got it in High Anxiety, which is Fox. Robin Hood Men in Tights, which is Fox. Dive When We Kid Project Rules, which is Fox. The Dr. Dolittle movies. And countless other movies by Fox, produced by Fox, always have to have at least one poop joke from a bird. And this movie is no exception. This movie fell under that. I was like, good job, movie. You're making me laugh hysterical, and then you just had to do this one scene at the end. So anyway, James Franco's proposing to Zoe at the end of the movie, and he keeps telling by the way, Keegan Michael Peele, I think his name is it. He plays like his assistant. He's like, no, there's no don't do the doves and all that stuff like that. So he like lets these doves out of his helicopter. They go flying over James Franco and Zoe Deutsch's head, and they shit, and the dove is just shit all over them. Like it shits like shit, like just like, well, it shits really shits all over James Franco. Like one of it just drops on her arm. I didn't enjoy seeing Joy Deutsch get shit on by birds. I'm sorry that happened to you. I know it's fake, but still. But yeah, they pooped on James Franco more. But I that's where like really you had me laughing consistently throughout. Why'd you have to go juvenile on me for just a second? And didn't even bother wiping it off. Like they still had it on them 5 minutes later. Like Kiss is walking. Uh, that's a big spoiler. I'm not gonna say the next part, but they don't wipe it off until like 2 scenes later, or they change. But still, anyway. So yeah, if you like hysterical comedies, you're gonna love this movie. If you like James Franco, you're gonna love this movie. Uh, this movie actually had touched me a few times. It had some really touching moments, which I didn't expect from this movie. Um, sure, you could say movies like this before had these kinds of like moments. It's like one of those father daughter type moments. Um, but yeah, I wasn't really expecting much from the movie. I wasn't really expecting that element to the movie. I was expecting like hard R shit. Um, but yeah, this movie was funny, but they had to have Dove shitting on them at the end of the movie. So I was gonna go 4, but that pisses me off that they went juvenile at the end of the movie. So instead of going 4 out of 5, I'm gonna go 3 stars out of 5. It kept me captive throughout the entire movie until they had the Dove shitting on them at the very fucking end. Thank you, Fox. Thank you for having. You, this year's going so good. No movie this year besides Ghostbusters had juvenile humor in it, and today I saw Why Him, and there's juvenile humor. So this is no, this is movie number 3 actually. I forgot. The beginning of Neighbors 2. No, the sex scene in the beginning where they're having sex and what's her face? Rose Byrne pukes all over Seth Rogen's face. Yeah. So 3rd juvenile joke this year and comedy. So you were doing so good this year, film industry, but you just had to have those few juvenile humor in your fucking movies. Other than that, I highly recommend you see Why Him. It's hilarious. You'll laugh your ass off from beginning to end. Um, who knows? You might like poop jokes. I'm not a big fan of them. I think they're the lowest common denominators in movies. To me, the lowest common denominator in a comedy is poop and vomit jokes. That's like the bottom of the barrel for me. I don't mind a fart joke. I'd rather laugh at someone farting in someone's face than someone puking all over someone. Um, it's just not funny seeing someone get drenched in vomit. It's just not. It's like, then you just imagine yourself being puked on. Would you be laughing at that? No. So yeah, 3 stars out of 5. Really enjoyed it.